Hello, today we're going to be working on POE, POTWs, Activity 0.2.1 Technical Drawings for Principles of Engineering. We're going to start by downloading the Sneaky Onshape document in the resource. To do that, you just click on it. It pops up. It may take a minute or two for it to pop up, and then you have your SU you can work with. You can't edit this one. You have to make a copy, so you select Make a Copy, and I'm just going to name it POE Sneaker 1, just because in case I do more than one. You gotta tell it where to put it, so I'm just gonna put it in owned by me, and I'm not gonna put it in any specific folder today. I may move it later. It can take a few seconds for it to load, or up to a minute or so, so give it some time to load, and once it all loads in, then we can start editing our SU. While it's loading, I'll show us our assignment. So today we want to move on. I'll skip over these, and our main thing is to design a logo that's going to be embossed on the side of our sneakers is what we'll look at doing today. So once it loads in, we'll start doing that. I'll pause it until it loads. So now our SU has loaded in. I'm going to do my logo. You can pick either side. I'm going to do it here on this right side. To do that, I'm going to start by giving me a plane to draw a sketch on. So I'm going to hit to view the right plane, and I'm going to select to start a new sketch, and then I'm going to select on that right plane. As long as you're in that plane, it doesn't matter its location based on how we're going to do it today. To help make my sketch easier, I'm going to rotate it to the right so I can see what my sketch is going to look like. Now it's totally up to you what you do on your design. You can use these tools here like the lines, the rectangle, square, and they all have, a lot of them have drop downs to make your shape. So I'm just going to make something very simple. I'm going to have a circle. I'll make it about 1 inch diameter, and then I'll have a couple lines that connect together and go to the circle. So in this case, I want to use some constraints. So I'm going to come over here. There's a whole drop down to choose from. I'm going to start with the tangent tool and make this line tangent to my circle, and also make this line tangent to our circle. Once we have both those tangent to each other, then it's going to connect it. Then I have this piece I want to take out of my circle. I'm just going to use the trim tool to cut that out. Oh, maybe I won't. I'm going to keep that circle on, and then I'm going to use the trim tool to hopefully just cut out that small segment, as long as, oh, I'm not touching it. Before I can do that, I want to make sure my lines are touching, so I'm going to use the coincident and hit the dot and the circle. And the same thing with the other one, the dot and the circle. Now that they're both touching, now I can trim it out. And that's going to be my symbol. We could do a lot more complex, but I wanted something simple so we can move on to our next step. I hit the green check to accept. I didn't fully constrain it because I can move around. It's not located anywhere on this sketch, and the length of these lines isn't determined either. Once we have our sketch though, to start this, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to find a drop down tool, and it's going to say under where the plane is, it's going to say offset surface. I'm going to click on the surface where I want this logo to go, and typically I would make it really small, but just to make things easier for you to see where we're clicking, I'm going to put it out at 1, and we're going to move it back closer later on. So I'm going to hit my green check to accept, and that gives us this offset surface. It's going to look kind of goofy right now because it's sticking an inch out from our shoe, but we'll put it back really super close here in just a second. Now that we have that, now we can extrude this logo we just created. So I'm going to hit the extrude button. I'm going to select my sketch, whether it's by moving my shoe, rotating it, and clicking directly on the sketch, or sometimes it's easier to click on the sketch on the sequence workflow. I'm going to click on the sketch on here. Then we're adding material, and we got to make some changes so it's sticking out of the shoe and it's not like in the middle of our shoe like it's showing now. So I'm going to start by doing up to face, and I want to go to up to the outside of this surface I just created, this offset surface. However, I don't want it starting in the middle of my shoe like it's showing now, so I want a second end position. And I'm going to change that to up to face as well, and that's why I did this offset plane, because I want it to end at this outside of the shoe material. Right now it's showing red because the way the extrude set up, the orientation is not going to make an object at all. You can click on these opposite end arrows and you can see that's making an object form now. Once you have that object in the right location, you can click on your views to make sure, hey, it's not inside my shoe, it's not going, in this case it's going way far out, but we'll fix that in just a second. But it's in that area we need it. It's not inside the shoe, it's not beyond the outside surface, so we're going to hit our green check. Finally, I'm going to move this offset surface. I just put it way out just to make it easier for you to see where we're clicking. I'm going to move that in super close, like 0.01 inch, so it barely sticks out, and that's going to make that super close to our shoe. So you can do like 0.1 or 0.01, something really small, where it's not going to take up, but still shows up. Finally, my thickness of my logo is going to be thicker than that. That's hardly any thickness at all. Just thicken that logo out. There's a few different ways. The easiest way is you come up here, you find this drop down, move face, and we're going to click on this face that we want to move, which is our logo. How far do you want to stick out? I'm going to do about 1/8 of an inch, so 0.125 inches. You could type 1/8 as well, and that would give us our distance out. If you want to change this offset surface so that it matches the color of your shoe, you can add appearance to the feature, and that's going to allow you to change it to match the color of the rest of your shoe. So that gives us a logo on our shoe that sticks out. Hopefully this helps you get started with that aspect. If you want to need other design features, you can do those as well. But that gives you a way to get that logo onto your shoe. Hopefully this helps get you rolling. Thank you. Have a great day.